And welcome back to Crypto Hulk channel. Got a show lined up. Lots of good stuff. Yes, we're going to start here. But first, let me see who's first five. First five, Michelle, Jersey Kathy. Let me check something here. Okay. Gotcha. S. Harib 1, Pablo Escobar, X, RP Poseidon. So they disconnected the chat again, and that's okay because I had to log in as a guest. Very interesting how on my own show I have to log in as a guest to get into the chat. But okay, true story, Hulk. Nowhere else I'd rather be. This group is home. This group is family. Oh, there you have that. It's a real program. A lot of social media can't handle real. We're going to start here. Oh, my name is Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't do anything that the show says, and don't invest in anything that I tell you to invest in. Let's look. I think I'll do this article first. I want you to see something right here. Ripple's first business partners. That's important. Let's look at this for a minute. Fiserv. There's the article I just gave you right there. And let's look at this real quick. There's there's a company, there's a financial service provider, a bank. It's called Fiserv, Fiserv, and they hire a former JP Morgan payments chief. Fiserv has appointed JP Morgan Chase Global head of payments, Takis Georgakopoulos, as a senior advisor. The appointment comes weeks after the news broke that he's leaving JP Morgan following a 17-year stint at the Wall Street giant. I want you to see something right here, because this nobody's going to talk about except me. Now, this is like an investment opportunity for you. This is massive. You've got Fiserv. This is a Ripple partner from day one. The other channels are not going to talk about this. They have no idea. Okay. They won't even go over this article because they don't think there's fireworks here. All right. I'm going to show you something that this is very important. Let's say you got all your crypto and you've got all your gold and silver coins. Oh, by the way, if you need gold and silver coins, I sell those. Go to my channel, go to the section that says videos, not shorts, not community. Go to the section that says videos. There I sell gold necklaces, gold coins, silver coins, and crypto wallets. Now, the gold coins and silver coins, I don't make money off of, but it does help my algorithm. So if you're going to have to get gold and silver coins eventually, get them from my channel first. I've got Walmart, AppMex, reputable suppliers for gold and silver coins. And I tag those videos. Go to the description. So look at those videos. Go to the description just underneath the video right there, and you'll see. Now the gold necklaces, I do make commissions on those, the bracelets and stuff, and the hardware wallets I make commission on. But the other ones I'm just doing to help the algorithm of the channel. So if you need hardware wallet, gold, silver coins, which you should get, then look at my channel first for that. What we have here is Fiserv. They're a Ripple partner from day one. This is massive right here. If you're somebody who's got your gold, silver coins already, and you don't need a hardware wallet at all, look into Fiserv. Go online and see if you can find Fiserv and invest in them. I don't know if you have to be an accredited investor or not, or just a regular person, but that company, they're a day one Ripple partner. They're going to take off before all the other ones. Now, they may take off at first, and then maybe the value of their stock comes down, goes back to normal. But I'd recommend, just for a friend, not you, but getting Fiserv stock if you can find it. They just hired a JP Morgan. Somebody's been at JP Morgan 17 years. I want you to think about that. That's amazing. At payments firm Fiserv. So Fiserv is a payments firm. This guy who just left JP Morgan, his name is Takis Georgakopoulos. He will work closely with the executive team on driving positive client outcomes and delivering best-in-class technology across the enterprise. And I'm going to show you this guy. Takis, extensive payments and leadership experience and operational expertise. Under Georgakopoulos, JP Morgan's payment business boomed, processing $10 trillion per day. That's pretty amazing. And bringing in a revenue of $2.4 billion in the first quarter, more than investment banking. Now, why is this a big deal? Let me show you this right here. I know you're going to want to invest in this company. Once I show you this, let me do a copy and a paste. So we have this. Go to the 8-second mark, just in the beginning, the 8-second mark. What we have here is Ripple Labs. This is a Ripple Labs 2013-14, 10 years ago. Nobody has this, all right, except me. This is something only on my channel. No other channel is going to have this. I don't care if people are paying $1,000 a month. I know I got a friend who's paying, I think, 500 or 1,000 a month for a Raoul Paul membership. Like, anyhow, I'm not going to tell him not to get that membership, but Raoul doesn't have this, what I have right here. Look right here, Fiserv, meet the team. It says Ripple Labs, meet the team. Our team of cryptographers, security experts. It just says all that, and then it goes right there, Fiserv. That's from day one. Now, that's from 10 years ago. Oh, but Crypto Hulk, that company, they don't do anything anymore. That's 10 years ago. Oh, wow. I'm just like, wow, dummies. The dummies are out tonight. Here's Fiserv again. Look at this article. This is dated about a couple of months ago. You only have one of the biggest payment companies in the world, PayPal. And then you got Venmo. Oh, and then you got Visa. Visa, who spends like $1.5 billion, maybe more, close to $2 billion on Ripple technology. And that's XRP. Visa, PayPal, Venmo, Western Union. We can go on. And then, oh, look, Fiserv. Fiserv is mixed up in this deal. Let me turn this off. What I'm showing you is 11 years ago, there's a company called Fiserv, and they were day one Ripple partners. 10 years later, in 2024, April, I'm showing you this article here. You've got Visa, PayPal, and Venmo working with Fiserv, Cross River Bank, another day one Ripple partner, Brightwell, and then Astra. They're all working together to move payments. And that's XRP. Now, the guy that went to go work for Fiserv used to work for JP Morgan. Let me show you something here. JP Morgan knows all about XRP. Look at this article. Ripple partner and JP Morgan join forces. And this article is about 2 years old, almost 2 years old. What we have in this article is you have an exchange called Al Fardan Exchange, and JP Morgan joined them. And why is that important? Because the Al Fardan Exchange is a Ripple partner moving money around the world with XRP. Oh, nobody's using XRP. If anybody says XRP is not being used, you need to run from that person, okay? Just over and over the evidence. Oh, well, in this article, it doesn't specifically say XRP. Okay, look, dummy. The Al Fardan Exchange is using Ripple technology to move money around the world. Now, they have a choice of moving it in 2 to 5 seconds or 2 to 3 days. You tell me. You use your brain, unlike the people on XRP Stewie on Twitter. There's a channel on Twitter called XRP Stewie. You get the mental midgets of the world on that show. Everybody's either totally high or they're drunk off their ass. You can hear them doing the water bong. You can literally hear them doing the water bong on his show, and you're like, what? But these people are the most anti-XRP people on the planet. I'm just shocked, truly shocked. But use your reasoning ability on this one. You got the Al Fardan Exchange, JP Morgan partner. Now, they move money all around the world. Use your brain. The article doesn't specifically say they're using XRP. This is where your brain comes in. This is where people on XRP, Stewie, have no brain. Now, you're a business. You want to move money all around the world. Do you want to move it in 2 to 5 seconds for practically free? Or do you want to spend 2 to 3 days and use the ACH network where there is a lot of fees? Which one are you going to pick? Is that a trick question? No, it's you want to move money in 2 to 5 seconds for almost free. That's XRP. Okay. So the adults know exactly what's going on. Let me move on from here. I'm going to check the comment section. And then, let's see. Ripple president mentioned how XRP will be used. She said in her podcast, that XRP will be used in cross-border payments like a neutral token, a sovereign token. Hulk gives all the connections. Says Syrian Marshall. Yep, got to admit, I'll be shaky holding on to XRP because of all the fun. Shane Norton Wow, finally got a notification. Hey, Hulk, welcome back from vacation. Well deserved. So I'll just tell you what, you have a couple options. Go to your phone, um, and with your phone, delete the YT app about 2 or 3 times a week and reload it. That might help with your notifications. Along with that, go into your settings, find the notifications for this show, and pick all. If that don't work, and you've tried everything, you can look on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and sign up for those. And then I'll give you notifications when I have a show. And then finally, at the end, you have a choice of starting a new YT account, um, using a friend's ATM debit card for payment, and using a different name. In between all of that, you'll be notified. There's a lot of different options. Let me move on from this. XRP Shaman, that is just a joke. Having to log in as a guest in your own show. Really? Yeah. So I have my show, but what I'll do, because YT today and yesterday decided to log me out of my own chat, is I have to log in as a guest so I can read your guys' comments and stuff on my own show. So that's where we're at with the platform. XRP Shaman says, I truly love this channel for what it has become. We are all a collective minded group that has pulled together, and in the future, I think will pay off. Uh, Hulk is our captain and is leading us. I'm just looking through people's comments here. So, okay, let's go to the next. European Central Bank. Hoo-wee. Let's look at this right here, because this is all Ripple coming up next. Let me do a copy paste. Hold on. All right. European Central Bank announces 48 participants in the wholesale distributed ledger technology trials, including the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. We need to go over this one. This one's important. 48 participants involved. What we got here, let's look. The Euro system is conducting wholesale DLT settlement trials in central bank money. In May, the first wave of participants commenced testing, and on Friday, the European Central Bank shared the second group who start trials next month. While Germany dominated the first group, the latest group of 48 private firms is highly diverse. It also features the Hong Kong Monetary Authority as a participant to trial cross-border payments. Look, I'm going to stop with this. What Europe is doing is they're getting ready to launch this. They got this sandbox where they're testing crypto in Europe. Europe is coming up with regulations first. Europe is now just telling us they're testing with 48 people, 48 different banks, entities. Some are countries, some are banks, and they're testing wholesale. That's Ripple. Now, there's other wholesale distributed ledger technologies they're dealing with. We all know which one's going to win. At least probably 85% of the business. There will be other platforms that will be used at 15%, but Ripple is going to get about 80% of this business. All right. Now they talk about Hong Kong. That's a Ripple partner. Let me show you that right now. Let me do a copy and a paste. And it's right here. Okay, go to the 34-second mark. 34-second mark. What do we see? Ripple Hong Kong, copyright 2014. The first Ripple gateway in Hong Kong. Everybody, 10 years ago, the country of Hong Kong. Now, look, let me tell you something. Who really controls the country of Hong Kong? That's Red Dragon. So when you see Hong Kong, it's Red Dragon. It's Red Dragon doesn't really want to put themselves out there, so they'll use Hong Kong as a way of testing and doing things. All right, that's what's up with that. Let me go back to this article. No less than 15 DLT operators are involved in the trial, including 2 DLT pilot regime candidates. Now, so basically, you've got at least 15 to 20 banks, countries, or whatever it might be called, at least 15 to maybe 20 involved in this, okay? This is the second one. Remember, they already had trials last month. Now, what do we got here? Crypto Hulk, why can't we see the prices of crypto going up? Now listen to what I'm going to read you here. Most of the big banks with their own platforms are taking part. Most of the big banks with their own platforms. Oh, they just kind of told on themselves right here. These big banks, they got their own platforms, their own crypto platforms. Are you hearing me? That's why you're not seeing prices. That's why you're not seeing their tokenization going on where they're taking these banks are taking real world assets and they're tokenizing them. But Crypto Hulk, why are we not seeing the prices go up? Because they're on their own platforms. That's what it's saying right here. Most of the big banks with their own platforms. Those aren't public. You will not see price increases because all these banks are using their quote own platforms. Now, see, this is why when you go on that exchange or your little crypto accounts, it's not accurate. What the other channels are not telling you, the hype channels, is that these banks, they have their own platforms and they're ready one day, whenever that day is. I don't know when that day is, but they're ready to take their own platforms and move them on top of the XRP ledger. That's what Crypto Hulk says is a flip of the switch moment. That's when all the tokenization that's occurring right now that you don't know about, oh, there's going to be a big surprise that's going to happen. XRP is going to go from 50 cents to like 500 or $1,000 overnight. Because what you're doing now, I'm speaking to somebody who doesn't watch my channel. What you're doing is the dumb thing. You're watching other channels. You're watching price action. You're watching exchange prices, but you're not looking at the right thing. Okay, you're watching dumb programs. These banks, they're not tokenizing on public blockchains. You can't see what they're doing. It's on private blockchains. This article's telling us right now, most of the big banks with their own platforms. Oh, you're not going to see shit. That YouTuber or that person that has a channel is not telling you, because they don't know themselves, all the stuff that's going on is on private blockchains. That's why you don't see the price increase. I don't know what the price is for XRP on private blockchains. I have no, see, all these private blockchains, they're like walled gardens. They have not been put maybe even on the XRP private ledger. You know, XRP, Ripple hasn't uh, been lying to anybody. Ripple has said from day one they have a private ledger. But I'm gonna add to that. They have multiple different kinds of blockchains and ledgers for all kinds of uses in the future. That's what I say. That's just my opinion. I don't have facts to back that up. Now, in this article, it talks about Credit Agricole, CIB, Euroclear, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, Iberclear, JP Morgan, Societe Generale, and UBS Bank. These are all banks that have their own platforms that are involved in this, and these are all Ripple partners as well. So let me look here. Let's start with this right here. Is this credit? Let me do a copy paste. I want to show you something. All these banks, they're all Ripple partners. They're working with the European Central Bank. Now, the video that I just sent you, go to the 2-second mark. The 2-second mark, what do we see? Credit Agricole Payment Services presents Focus on FinTech. And if you hit the play button, actually go to like the 4-second mark. The 4-second mark, we're seeing a San Francisco Bay, the Bay Bridge as they call it. You're seeing Credit Agricole. You're seeing Ripple on that same page. If you let the video go, Ripple's in, if you go to the 10-second mark, look right there, Brad Garlinghouse. So here's your evidence that Credit Agricole is a Ripple partner. Next, the article mentions Euroclear is involved in this wholesale CBDC kind of deal. Now, notice that Euroclear is an R3 partner. R3 is a company. They have a platform called Corda, and they're using the XDC crypto. We can see here that October of last year, so probably 8-9 months ago, R3 became a Euroclear partner. So if you're thinking about getting the XDC crypto, I'd highly suggest doing that. Let me look. Okay, this next one right here, I've shown it before. I'll show it again. Let me do a copy and a paste. Goldman Sachs is a member of this wholesale, these wholesale trials or experiments, whatever's going on. The video that I sent you, go to the 9-second mark, 9-second mark, you'll see Goldman Sachs right there. This is a 2013-14 Ripple Labs, Meet the Team. Goldman Sachs has been there from day one. Next, they mention HSBC is involved in this. Let me do a copy paste. The biggest, one of the top 3 banks in the world, look right here. What does it say? HSBC partners with Ripple owned Medico. So you've got JP Morgan, HSBC, and Citibank. Those three banks move pretty much 90% of the money in the world all around the globe. And that HSBC, Ripple partner. Next, the article mentions Societe Generale as a Ripple, as a wholesale partner experimenter in this. That's a Ripple partner as well. Ripple friendly Temenos is picked by Societe Generale Group to modernize major bank in the Czech Republic. Here we go again. The article mentions UBS Bank. Let me do a copy paste. So we have an article here. More than 75 banks are now on Ripple's blockchain network. This article is from 7 years ago. Think about this, 7 years ago. But if you scroll down to the third paragraph, 1, 2, 3, you'll see the name of Ripple partners, Standard Chartered and UBS, and RippleNet. So basically, right there, UBS, Ripple partner. I'm just clicking out of older articles. Let me check the comment section. My misused brain can't keep up. So what I've just shown you, and I'm done with this article, what I've just shown you is that the European Central Bank, we know in Europe, they're coming up with a sandbox to test all these cryptos. And it's all, I believe right now, I think at the end of June. So Europe is going to have a testing ground for crypto. They're going to green light it. And what we're seeing here is the European Central Bank has 48 participants that are going to be testing wholesale crypto. Now, you and me know that that's code for XRP. That's what XRP is wholesale. It's not designed for retail like people like you and me. So it's all about countries, governments, and businesses. What they did is they told us there's some banks that have their own platform. These are just some of them, and they're all Ripple partners. Think about this. They tell you the European Central Bank was lucky enough to tell us the names of the banks that are involved. They're all Ripple partners. I want you to see this. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not Chainlink, SushiSwap. It's not Shiba Inu. It's not Pepe. These are all Credit Agricole, Euroclear, Goldman Sachs, HSBC. Now, Iberclear, I didn't look up. JP Morgan, Societe Generale, UBS. These are all Ripple partners. 90% of these are Ripple partners. That should tell you something right there. Let me look really quick. I Heart Cryptoverse says collecting articles to read later. XRP Shaman says, I post it all the time in my private channel. I started it to keep a history of everything that is happening, news history, everything. Okay. Let's go to the next. Where are we at as far as time? Okay. Let's go to the next article. It's about Chainlink. And if you got Chainlink, I've never said to buy Chainlink. I never touched the stuff. Let's see what's going on with Chainlink and Shiba. Now, this is kind of bad. Binance, the crypto exchange Binance, is going to delist Shiba and Chainlink. Are you hearing me? One of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world is not going to be dealing with Shiba or Chainlink. What does that tell you? Remember all those channels out there telling you, oh, get Chainlink. Oh, get Shiba. It's almost kind of embarrassing when you list Shiba and Chainlink together. That's kind of like not the group you want to be in. That's like the very short school bus. If you've ever had to go to school on a short bus, you know what I mean. It's kind of like you don't want to be on that bus. Let's take a look here. Leading cryptocurrency exchange Binance has hinted at plans to delist Shiba Inu and Chainlink and meme coin and a few other trading pairs. Some of the affected pairs will be BLUR FD USD, Chainlink, Meme, Metis, NFP, Osmo, and Shiba. The scheduled date for the suspension of these spot trading is June 28th at 3 o'clock a.m. UTC. The decision will leave Binance with other high volume trading pairs like Tether, TRY, and FDUSD. Binance highlighted that it discovered poor liquidity and trading volume on most of the aforementioned pairs. Delisting of these spot trading pairs will not impact negatively on the availability of the tokens. Users are allowed to trade the spot trading pairs while they quote assets. Meanwhile, the latest development comes barely a week after Binance announced the delisting of AI crypto spot trading, specifically Ocean Protocol and Singularity Net. You know, what I'm seeing here is this: regulations are coming. Binance wants to be in the right position for regulations. I don't know all the deal on what's going on with Shiba Inu and Chainlink, but if they're cutting Chainlink loose, that's something you don't want to be in. Okay, there's a reason for that. They're trying to distance themselves from Shiba and Chainlink. You might want to consider the same thing. Now, that's interesting that Binance is doing this, but I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you my opinion on why I think their Binance is doing this. Look at this article right here. This is going to tell you something. Binance CEO welcomes Standard Chartered move to launch a Bitcoin trading desk. Now, you've got Standard Chartered linking up with Binance. Standard Chartered is a Ripple partner. Standard Chartered knows that Ripple is like the company that you want to follow. And Standard Chartered is getting into the crypto business. I went over this article a couple days ago. Let me show you this again. Let me do a copy paste. Look at the title of this article. Standard Chartered enters crypto trading arena. And this article was from probably about a week ago. British bank Standard Chartered has initiated a spot cryptocurrency trading operation in London, catering to institutional investors. That means people like not you and me, with a focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Notice they're going to start with those two. What we got going on here is Standard Charter's getting into the crypto game. They're going to start selling it. Okay, notice how the giants now, they were working on their regulations, they're tokenizing. Now they're working on selling crypto to you and me. Before, crypto was all bad, and they were not talking about it at all. Now, all of a sudden, I want you to start seeing what's going on. These huge banks are now going to start selling it. Okay, it's going to be the Bitcoin and Ethereum at first, but you'll see later it's going to be everything. Now, Standard Chartered is going to sell crypto, but where are they going to store their crypto so nobody steals it? Look at this article here. Standard Chartered Zodiac Custody joins Ripple's Medico network. What we got here is this. Standard Chartered's joining Binance. Binance is getting rid of Shiba and Chainlink. Standard Chartered is getting their crypto from Binance, but they're storing it in Ripple's company called Medico. Now, how long has Ripple been a Standard Chartered partner? Well, let's do a copy paste and we'll find out. Uh, 2016. Standard Chartered completes strategic investment in Ripple. This article is dated 2016, 8 years ago. Standard Chartered has been rolling with Ripple for about 8 years. So there's your Binance Ripple article. Last article of the show is this one right here. Let me check the comment section, and then we'll go over the last article here in just a second. Do a copy paste. All righty then. They've squeezed, Stuart Lavelle says, they've squeezed my oranges again. Michael Gilbert, I'll join you, Stu. Crypto bad. Oops, it's good. I'm changing my name to Batman. Surely YT won't fuck with Batman. You know, unfortunately, that's what we got to do. Look, my channel provides real information. They don't. Internet platforms in general, they don't want you to know this stuff. So expect to have to go through some trials on my channel. You're not going to be notified. You're going to be, your chat box will be taken away at times. It's just, these things are just expected. Now, what some people do is, I'm just letting you know, they start off all brand new again. Get a brand new email, start off with a brand new YT account, and they use a spouse, friends, credit card to pay for the subscription. And then everything seems to work. I don't know why all this is done. I mean, I kind of do. They don't want you to know what's on my show. The information on my show, they don't want you to know it. So that's kind of like part of, that's what has to happen. So maybe if your name is Barry S, you change it to Barry S1. You get a new email, borrow a friend's payment card, and then you start off brand new on the channel. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Lastly, let's look at SpaceX. SpaceX Starlink lands major partnership with Comcast Business. Um, what we got going on here is this. Everybody on the planet is going to be linked with a cell phone. Wherever you go, there will be coverage. Now, there's good and there's bad. We all know the bad from all this. But the good is this: we have to get everybody connected on this new crypto platforms. Um, wherever you go in life, whether you're in the most desolate area, the powers that be want you connected. You can always make a transaction. Let's look here. SpaceX Starlink, the satellite internet service, has landed a major partnership with Comcast Business, a leg of the communications company, to provide connectivity solutions to customers. Comcast Business will utilize Starlink's low Earth orbit satellite technology to provide Comcast Business customers with fast and reliable internet connectivity that will ensure consistent service in even rural regions. It is arguably SpaceX's biggest partnership yet in terms of Starlink, although it has signed several other large-scale collaboration efforts in various sectors. For example, Starlink provides Maersk. Maersk is spelled Maersk, if you want to look that up. Maersk is a shipping company. They have those big boats that go around the world, and Stellar is a part of that as well. I've already gone over that. Stellar has bought stock in Maersk, so they're connected. But yeah, that shipping company is a part of SpaceX Starlink as well. I'm not going to read the rest of the article here. What this is, it's a way of getting the whole entire globe connected. The Starlink, no matter where you go in the world, they're going to be able to track you. And then if you want to be able to buy stuff, trade crypto, that's going to be on your phone as well. So that's the big news with that. Michael Gilbert. I use Starlink all over these beachside and mountains, and old Jed is building low orbit space condos. Port. Starlink is the bomb. Okay. Stu Lavelle says, wow, chat not showing. It's tough on my channel. For 4 years, I've been dealing with this stuff, all kinds of issues. But I'm here today providing news for you. I'm going to wrap this up. This program's over, about 48 minutes into it. My name is Crypto Hulk, and I will see you on my next broadcast.